Alright, this is my third log for my game here, just talking about the changes and my plan for wrapping this up the next week or so. So, as you can see, just right here, right off the bat, you can see that I've made some debugging sprites because I've had some issues with my collisions between the player and the enemy, which the bear, they're now being also represented by the square and this dot right here, so I can just start to eliminate variables and figure out what's causing those issues. And I might be starting to figure that out. That's probably my highest priority at the moment, because once I get that figured out, then I can get my uh, death and number of lives worked out and implemented fairly quickly, hopefully, because I'll be able to detect those collisions. And also, once I figure out all this collision detection stuff, I'll be able to pick up these bananas. So those are the two probably biggest last gameplay mechanics that I have to finalize for this game here. And then with that, I would really like to see myself get some simple form of UI done so that I can see how many bananas have been collected, the number of lives I have left, and also just like a super simple main menu type thing that will allow players to exit the game or select a different level. And if we come in here to my to-do list, we can see the banana collection, one of the top things right here that needs to get done. Then lives and deaths and main menu. I do have sound effects on here. At this point, that might be a bit of a stretch to get that done, but again, I think that there might be something super simple that I can add in that can add quite a bit to that. I'd also like to maybe get one or two levels implemented so that it's not just this one demo level that I've been working on. And again, that should be fairly quick because of the way that I've done my tile maps, and those should be fairly easy to create, and I think that that'll come with the UI implementation, just making those extra levels work. Some of these other items down here, definitely too much to get done in the next week or so. So I think that my highest priority right now is getting that collision detection working, as I was saying, and then getting the lives and death and the banana collection. So those are my highest priorities right now. If we come into my scripts here, you can see the player script looks fairly similar to what it did before. I've added in some animation stuff to the player. Not super easy to show that right now because I have these debug sprites in, but now when I move the player, when it's moving, it looks like it's walking, and when it's stopped, it will stop the animation. So just super simple with that. If we come into the animator here, we can see that I have this monkey walking and the monkey idle right here. So just simple animation controller, and I've done something similar with the bear, just so that it walks when the game is playing. We can click play here for a second. We can see that simple animation as he walks right there. And those have both definitely helped with adding some extra just like visual appeal to the game. So been happy that I've been able to implement those. So I have my banana in here as well. That's the first time that it's actually been in the game. I've had that art for a while, but I've gotten it in here, and it'll probably get a simple script to work as the collection mechanism for those to track when they get picked up and destroy them. The enemy script here, again, pretty similar to what it was before. There's probably a little bit more in the movement. There's nothing actually with the animation in the script here because the enemies are constantly moving back and forth, so that animation just runs all the time and never needs to change because I'm just using a flip across an axis to change the direction, so the animation just continues as it is because it just gets mirrored. When the sprite flips, I have added this new script here, player stats. This will track the health points of the player for when he gets hit, and also controlled the die mechanism. So when the player runs out of health points, then it'll call a function to kill the player and return to the main menu if I get that in there. The controller, again, probably fairly similar. This is where I've been working on some of the hits and detection for when the player and the enemy collide. We can see one of those right here. If hit and it hits the enemy, then we get this player bear collision, and that's where I'm having my issues right now. But as I said, I think might be figuring out a little bit of where that needs to be fixed. And that's mostly within the inspector. I think that those issues are. Raycast controller, exactly the same as it has been for a while. This platform controller I've sort of left for the time being. Not super important or crucial aspect to the gameplay, and it seemed to be creating more problems than the functionality that I was going to get out of it. If I come in and play here, we can see my stuff's still moving around. I do get a weird collision there, but I think I might know why it's starting to fall through the floor there, but I am getting the hit detection, which I haven't been getting, so I'm happy about this right here. And you could probably see the bear walking around again, so I think that probably behind where I wanted to be, but I think if I get these collisions sorted out and the life and death system and the banana collection, then I'll have a fairly good feeling game. The player controller that I started with definitely will help with that because the movement's nice and feels good as you're playing. And I think the animations that I've added definitely add to the overall feel of the game. So overall, I'm pretty happy with where it is. Need to put in some work though and get those issues sorted out and finish this off.